Eliphaz claimed to have been given secret knowledge through a special revelation from God, and that he had learned much from personal experience. He argued that suffering is a direct result of sin, so if Job would only confess to his sin, his suffering would end. Eliphaz saw suffering as God's punishment, which should be welcomed in order to bring a person back to God. In some cases, this may be true, but it was not with Job. Although Eliphaz had many good and true comments, he made three wrong assumptions. 1, a good and innocent person never suffers. 2, those who suffer are being punished for their past sins. And 3, because Job was suffering, he had done something wrong in God's eyes. Welcome back to the program, everybody. I'm Reverend and today we'll be reading Job chapter 4, verse 1 through 21, and Job chapter 5, verse 1 through 27, Eliphaz's first response to Job. And if you ain't did it already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment on any video on this channel. All right, let's begin with our reading of Job chapter 4, verses 1 through 21. Eliphaz the Temanite replied to Job, "Will you be patient and let me say a word? For who could keep from speaking out? In the past you have encouraged many people. You have strengthened those who were weak. Your words have supported those who were failing. You encourage those with shaky legs. But now when trouble strikes, you lose heart. You are terrified when it touches you. Doesn't your reverence for God give you confidence? Doesn't your life of integrity give you hope? Stop and think. Do the innocent die? When have the upright been destroyed? My experience shows that those who plant trouble and cultivate evil will harvest the same. A breath from God destroys them. They vanish in a blast of his anger. The lions roar and the wildcats snarl, but the teeth of the strong lions will be broken. The fierce lion will starve for lack of prey, and the cubs of the lioness will be scattered. This is truth. This truth was given to me in a secret, as though whispered in my ear. It came to me in a disturbing vision at night, when the people are in a deep sleep. Fear griped me, and my bones trembled. A spirit swept past my face, and my hair stood on end. The spirit stopped, but I could not see its shape. There was a form before my eyes. In the silence, I heard a voice say, "Can a mortal be innocent before God? Can anyone be pure before the Creator? If God does not trust his own angels and has charged his messengers with this foolishness, how much less will he trust the people made of clay? They are made of dust, crushed as easily as a moth. They are alive in the morning, but dead by evening, gone forever without a trace. Their tent cords are pulled and the tent collapses, and they die in ignorance." Job chapter 5, verse 1 through 27, Eliphaz's response continues. "Cry for help, but will anyone answer you? Which of the angels will help you? Surely resentment destroyed the fool, and jealousy kills the simple. I have seen that fools may be successful for the moment, but then comes sudden disaster. Their children are abandoned far from help. They are crushed in court with no one to defend them. Their hungry devour their harvest, even when it's guarded by brambles. The thirsty pant after the wealth, but evil does not spring from the soil, and trouble does not sprout from the earth. People are born for trouble, as readily as sparks fly up from fire. If I were you, I would go to God and present my case to him. He does great things too marvelous to understand. He performs countless miracles. He gives rain for the earth and water for the fields. He gives prosperity to the poor and protects those who suffer. He frustrates the plans of schemers so the work of their hands will not succeed. He traps the wise in their own cleverness, so their cunning schemes are thwarted. They find it dark in the daytime, and they grope in noon as if it were night. He rescues the poor from the cutting swords of the strong and rescues them from the clutches of the powerful. And so at last the poor have hope, and the snapping jaws of the wicked are shut. But consider the joy of those corrected by God. Do not despise the discipline of the Almighty when you sin. For though he wounds, he also bandages. He strikes, but his hands also heal. From sixth disaster, he will rescue you. In the seventh, he will keep you from evil. He will save you from death in time of famine, from the power of the sword in time of war. You will be safe from slander. You will have no fear when destructions come. You will laugh at destruction and famine. Wild animals will not terrify you. You will be at peace with the stones of the field, and its wild animals will be at peace with you. You will know that your home is safe. When you survey your possessions, nothing will be missing. You will have many children. Your descendants will be as plentiful as grass. You will go to the grave at a ripe old age, like a sheaf of grain harvested in proper time. We have studied the life and found all this to be true. Listen to my counsel and apply it to yourself. Part of what Eliphaz said is true, and part is false. It is true that those who promote sin and trouble eventually will be punished. It is false that anyone who is good and innocent will never suffer. All the material recorded in the Bible is here by God's choice. Some is a record of what people said and did, but it's not an example to follow. The sins, the defeats, the evil thoughts, the misconception about God are all recorded in God's divinely inspired word. But we should not follow these wrong examples just because they are in the Bible. The Bible gives us teachings and examples of what we should do as well as what we should not do. Eliphaz's comments are an example of what we should try to avoid in making false assumptions about others based on our own experiences. All right, everybody, that's going to wrap up our reading for this morning. It's been a pleasure having us. Please join me on the next episode where we'll be starting at Job chapter 6, verse 1 through chapter 7, verse 5. Job's second speech, a response to Eliphaz. Y'all stay blessed.